Hi, my name is Anna Thompson, and I'm an HCOM major with a concentration in Communication Studies at California State, Monterey Bay. My capstone project is titled Community Care, Grassroots Power in the Bay Area. This video documentary explores how Bay Area grassroots organizations support people who are underserved. Growing up, I got to watch and learn what community care looks like because of my mom. This project is inspired by her work, her compassion, and the people she has shown up for all these years. Through my interviews, on-site documentation, and research, I will explore Bay Area grassroots organizations that support marginalized communities, focusing on unhoused and food insecure individuals. This work directly connects to our core themes of power, privilege, and place. The Bay Area is known for opportunity, innovation, and diversity, yet it also has some of the highest housing costs in the country. As the cost of living has skyrocketed, housing has become increasingly inaccessible, and food insecurity now affects thousands of people across the region, especially within historically marginalized communities. While government support exists, it often fails to match the scale of this crisis. Many policies are short-term, conditional, or insufficient, leaving communities to fill the gaps themselves. These disparities are not accidental. Practices like redlining, zoning laws, and decades of underinvestment push people of color to the margins long before gentrification accelerated displacement. During an interview, my mom shared that the city of Berkeley no longer allows encampments. She pointed out that an encampment called "Where Do We Go?" stemmed from this action and emphasized that we have to remember that we are dealing with human beings. I sat down with my buddy Malik Scott for an interview to hear his perspective on the lack of government support and what that means to the people.
Huey Newton talked about this, and Malcolm X talked about this early in his autobiography about just like, and it sucks that people have this belief, but it's this belief of just like, no, people aren't gonna get it, man. Like, they're not gonna get it. We've been trying for a good second now. They're not gonna get it. They don't got us, and they're not gonna see it. Let's do our thing. Let me educate you. Let me protect you. Let me feed you, because they don't got us. And it sucks, because it's like, there is such a large portion of marginalized people that have just given up hope on change.
I wanted to hear more from the person who inspired this project, so I sat down with my mom, Beth Thompson, for a conversation to learn about her job and what community care means to her.
People are privileged in different ways. So privilege in my work means that we are taken care of in our basic needs. And my title is Director of Community Partnerships. And that means that I get to work with the city and the university and the people in the neighborhood, as well as some global partners throughout the world.
I then asked her how people can individually participate.
So downtime is important, self-care is important, and if we took an equal amount of time for those things and poured it into whatever it was, whether it's feeding people, whether it's just talking to someone, whether it's buying someone a cup of coffee, if we all did that, the world would be different. But I am constantly reminded at the beautiful humanity, people want to step in, as you've experienced.
Yeah.
And you're seen in a different way when you do that, when you step in.
So my mom's work exists within a larger constellation of grassroots organizations across the Bay Area. The ones that I've spent time working with and learning about include Food Pantry, Street Meal, City Team, Harbor House, Dorothy Day House, Street Spirit, and the Black Panther Party. While they operate in different ways, each contribute deeply to our community by providing food, shelter, clothing, services, and connection. I had the opportunity to interview the City Team Oakland director to learn how he became involved, what City Team provides, and what gaps still exist.
My name's Curtis Moore. I am the Director of Men's Programs for City Team Ministries in Oakland. I got involved with City Team in 2018. I was looking at 18 years in prison, and I joined the men's program, and I did their year-long program. I ended up graduating. I did an internship and a part-time job opportunity opened up, so I accepted it. And from there, I worked across a few different positions. City Team in the neighborhood. I've done City Team Youth Collective, City Team San Francisco, and then now I am the director of programs for City Team Oakland. So we have safe haven houses for women of domestic violence in the sex trade industry. We have youth collective houses for young men and women that have aged out of foster care. We have houses for pregnant women who are, right there ready to give birth. And then we have our men and women's residential programs. So at any given time, between the 5 cities, I would say we're probably housing maybe 500 to 600 people, offering them the lasting solution. So they're going to classes, career readiness, financial literacy, trauma-informed care. To put it all in a nutshell, it kind of, I don't have the exact statistics, but I mean 95% of unhoused individuals could really use some mental health stability and some substance abuse resources.
While a variety of resources are still needed, I wanted to show what community care looks like in practice. I asked my mom to describe the work she does through the food pantry and street meal programs.
The work that I get to do is through this church, specifically within the neighborhood, is for a food pantry a couple times a month and a street meal we call, which is a hot meal and clothing distribution program and giving a safe space to rest. We don't have any requirements or limitations to who can come and be a guest. And we often do supplemental pantries where we're buying extra food through donations, financial donations, and people bringing in clothing and food from the grocery store. And we get to hand out food. It's pretty amazing.
I have had the opportunity to participate in a few food pantries and street meal programs, as well as City Team over the years. It is always a privilege to participate, serve, and connect with the guests, as well as new and returning volunteers. These resources have been built to encourage and promote a private place of gathering, as that builds a strong communal foundation. While volunteering amidst making this project, I got to meet Travis. He is a recurring guest at Street Meal and comes early to hang out while food is being made and clothes are being prepped and folded, as this is one of his many communities. I was only planning to film the setup and those who are volunteering, rather than the guests, so that I was not intruding on their space. But as I was walking around, he asked what I was doing with my camera. As I told him about my project, he shared some resources that he utilizes, such as Street Spirit, and asked to be a part of this documentary. As these organizations demonstrate our class themes in real, lived ways, I asked how power or empowerment, privilege, and place show up from my mom's perspective.
Empowerment can look different depending on who is being served. We sometimes call people our guests because that feels a little bit more relational. But if a guest comes for food, say at our food pantry, empowerment might be if they say, "Can I help?" or "Is there something I can do before the pantry starts?" Empowerment might look like them joining in us bagging food. To me, that's empowerment because it's participation. And I strongly believe that people feel empowered when they are joining in. So privilege allows us to step in a way that might be different than someone who is less privileged. It could be financially, it could be a privilege of time, it could be a privilege of education, but that privilege helps us understand maybe what is possible. So place for living in the Bay Area is wonderful in many, many ways. If you are part of a privileged community and have the opportunity to explore all of its benefits. Place for people that are underserved or who have had some hardship of some kind can be really hard.
Through interviews, research, and firsthand experience, I learned that houselessness and food insecurity are not personal failures. They're systemic failures, yet communities refuse to look away. Grassroots organizations demonstrate the resilience of the Bay Area and the power of compassion. This project is about more than documenting programs. It's about understanding how local action creates meaningful impact. Participating in these spaces allowed me to see how community care provides real choices and opportunities for those often excluded from them. Community care is powerful and might be the most important kind of power that we have.